Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the new straight-to VOD action thriller, The Collective, from director Tom DeNucci, who also brought us a similar Johnny and Clyde earlier this year, which both of these are not great. And this just reeks of straight-to VOD or like straight-to-DVD bin kind of action thriller, as we focus on a young recruit to a mysterious agency of assassins who's trying to take down this crazy mafioso, and Lucas Till, who was in MacGyver and the X-Men prequel trilogy and just haven't really seen much since, plays this character who doesn't have really any personality. He doesn't really bring much to the role, and there isn't much expected of him from like a physicality standpoint, and when it does, it just feels stiff. There's a really uninteresting... Well, actually, scratch that. None of the characters in this movie are interesting. And some of them are trying way too hard to be interesting, and they're just not. And our lead, uninteresting lead, really don't care that much about. He gets teamed up with Tyrese Gibson's character, who is like such a thin, hollow shell of like a tough guy, special agent, and Tyrese just does not sell it at all. You have Don Johnson, who runs this organization. Like, he has his moments, and Don Johnson is really trying to make the most out of some really stiff and not great dialogue. The big bad, Paul Ben Victor, just feels like he's trying to do a De Niro impression and tries way too hard to do crazy over-the-top Al Pacino things. It just does not work. It looks desperate, and he's trying way too hard. Ruby Rose and Mercedes Varnado, aka like Mercedes Moné right now, or Sasha Banks from WWE, they're the henchmen, and it's like Ruby Rose is not in a physical role, and that's where Ruby Rose really shines. John Wick Chapter 2. And so like Ruby Rose just feels so out of place here. And then Mercedes Varnado doesn't really get a whole lot to work with, but she sells the physicality, which is appreciated. There's obviously action sequences in this film, and they're not really well staged or interesting, and everybody looks like they're playing with toy guns, and the special effects to show the shooting and the blood squirts are just... CGI squibs are awful and look so fake and tacky. This film doesn't really bring a whole lot to the table. It's uninspired characters. There's only a few glimpses of like Varnado when she's in action, or Don Johnson when he's doing his thing. And like the action set pieces feel like they're half-baked. The narrative just feels completely undercooked. This just feels like a film that tried to check a bunch of boxes, tried to get some recognizable names in it, and just ended up being a very forgettable and just not very engaging action thriller. But those are my thoughts on The Collective. Let me know what you think. Let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.